Hi everyone, this is Kay and you're on the Collective Soul Tarot channel. I'm doing the Egyptian Lenormand minute reading right now. That's timeless, irregardless of the date that this is done. It should resonate or could resonate with you. We're using the Egyptian Lenormand deck first with the Ciro Marchetti decks of the Kipper and the Gilded Reverie for the second row. And the third row is the Oracle, the Intuit Oracle Lenormand, okay? These cards are raised up because this is the significator column right here, where things are like, the significator is like most things are kind of revolving around it, in the sense that this is where you're going to see this kind of the focus of the reading, okay? And so I'm going to go ahead and start reading the energies from the cards presented here from Archangel Michael. He and I randomly pulled these cards. Well, I did at least. Well, so that's what I'm going to start doing right now. So we're going to start with this card right here. This is the Water Lily card. It's likened to the Lily card in the, I'm not sure if it's the Lenormand or the Kipper. But it's all about peace, serenity, calmness, and ancestral wisdom. That when it's here, it's saying that we are receiving that, we are sitting in it, and that's what this individual is. They're in there. Pardon me with the phone blinking. It's because I'm waiting for an important phone call. But this particular person is like the Empress, okay, in the tarot card. She's grown and developed and become wise and is sitting very comfortably within her own skin, knowing, having the wisdom. That's why you see the gray in her hair, taking on wisdom, you know, from her higher self. And but you see her as that. You are the Pharaoh. We're talking to a masculine here, unless it's same sex. Well, we're talking to Pharaoh here, somebody who still, needs to develop and grow, because God is the next one up from the Pharaoh in importance and power and leadership and whatnot. The Egyptian God. You have seen, by keeping an eye on her from afar, while you've been self-sacrificing yourself, okay, sitting back, waiting for things to happen on your terms, possibly waiting for her to show up in your life. Instead of you doing something, you've just been hanging out, waiting for and holding back and having delayed contacts, being very non-committal, right? Refusing to compromise, like you want to be given to, instead of being the giver in this energy. But having this person in your life, you have been awoken to something within you, which is a gift to all of us. And it is through this whole idea of receiving downloads, spiritual hits of wisdom, that you have realized this person has motivated and inspired you to look within, like to look at, to develop a different perspective in life. That then makes you a different magnet. You start attracting, becoming quite magnetized to all things positive and loving as a result of higher D perspective. Higher D, fifth dimension, sixth dimension, and higher, is that higher D, whereas we're all of us being ground dwellers on the planet are most often sitting in 3D until we learn and start remembering about the 5D, the unconditional love, vibrant frequency within us, that light within us, that is within us to turn to for help, assistance, support, and guidance, right? So you have been holding back from communicating with this one. And this card really is the most negative card out of all of these cards out here right now. This one's a pretty negative one too, but this one we're looking at it in a positive way over there. But yeah, you have been holding back. However, while you've been holding off communicating with her, contacting her, you love this person. You do. You love them. You're curious about them. You want to know more about them. You want to be in their world. They have motivated and inspired you to become a different person, to change your attraction, your magnetic attraction to all things positive and loving instead of like 3D fear. And because our thinking, what we think creates our mind, our thinking creates our lives, right? That the thought and the emotion creates our life experiences. So you have become more like you've got a new beginning as a child, innocent, more innocent now thinking, wanting, fantasizing about all things good and fun and loving and whatnot. You've received in an awakening. You are awoken and you've been seeing the error of your ways from before, which includes this energy. You've been seeing the error of your ways and you're now enlightened. You have tuned in, tapped in, turned on into your your inner light, your divinity. And this is allowing you to transform yourself from the inside out. So what's within is going to be without. It's going to be on the outside of you. Your environment's going to change as a result of you changing yourself from the very inside of you. This is a transformation, and this is upgrades, improvements, and movements. You will be moving towards her. See that ship card? But you've been putting an end to the old way. Sarcophagus is like the coffin. However, with the sarcophagus, the Egyptian, they believe in an afterlife, like a rebirth in a different energy, in a different frequency. So now you're rebirthing because you're putting an end to this lower 3D way of behaving and thinking and behaving, to 5D and higher, into the more astral realms. You're now taking the ethereal world, the spiritual world, more seriously and calling on it. You've been answering the call yourself. You're wising up, just like her. You're stepping into your emperor energy. You're well learned, reading, and well traveled. I mean, you're probably a wealthy businessman. And so you have everything you need in the world, but you have been largely, because this you using our little will to get you what you need in 3D to have that kind of lifestyle, comfort and leisure and just having just as much as the Joneses next door or more, you have things to look forward to with your money and your status, your community status, your employment status, and so forth and so on. So you're looked up to now, and you're feeling a lot more confident about yourself because you've tapped into the wisdom that's within all of us, right? And so you have changed your perspective. You see your life and life as just the purpose of life. Everything that you've gone through, everything that you're putting an end to, like putting it aside, putting it in the past, to evolve to a newer vibrant type of life experience. You can see things from a totally different perspective now, which has gifted you with that wisdom of the gray hair. Okay, that's just what represents it, right? So this is the significator column, and this is very significant. It's telling us, the divine is telling us that you have put an end to your old ways so that you could tune in, tap in, turn on to your wisdom, the divine within you, and it gives you a different perspective of why things have happened and how it happened. And now you know how to rise above it, right? Rise above it, and when you're going to do it is when you're ready and you're solid in that new frequency of 5D, that you're not just in 3D, but you're also in 5D. So you're between worlds in the sense that you're got 1 foot in 3D, 1 foot in 5D, and that's perfect balance. Perfect balance. Now the cat card tells us to take this seriously. Like this is something that it's drawing our attention to. That's what the card is talking about, how you are resurrecting yourself in a different frequency. You're bringing what you know now from above to the 3D. You're pulling it into your world. You're balancing yourself. This is the 3D one here, but as you go up, as you level up into the different dimensions, you get closer and closer to, you know, the fruitfulness or the lusciousness of all things positive and loving, right? You're bringing all that wisdom, which is all that lusciousness and fruitfulness of the divine into your world, into your own personal world, which then you grow and you expand so that you share all your wisdom and that high vibing energy with everybody in your world. Now, our world, we have our own personal world, right? Where the immediate people in our life, whatever, and our work and stuff like that. But then there's the larger world, right? The collective. So as you affect your own immediate world with having changed your own inner world, you end up changing the whole collective, having an effect on the entire collective as a result. You have become a man of heart, a man of love. I always often and accidentally say King of Heart, and I guess that's why I say it. Because when you're the King of Cups, that's how I look at this one. The King of Cups. When you're the King of Cups, you're in touch with your emotions. You have matured emotionally. You're all heart now, not all, but you know, you have your balance of heart and mind. Your right brain and your left brain are communicating to each other through the colossum, whatever it's called. I got to figure out how to say that properly. But yeah, you are ready now to make a move, to go towards what your heart is desiring right here. You love this one, you do. You're tying up loose ends and you're making progress step by step, even if it's baby steps. You now have stones that are actually leading you to where it is you want to be, because you're letting go of the status quo, living largely and only by 3D expectations. Other people expect from you, and the rules of the laws of the land, and not taking into consideration the laws of the universe as well, which is spirituality. You are upgrading from this little house, the house of ego, right here, because it is a tree house. It's rooted into the ground, but you see, you're rooted into your spirituality now, right? From above, as above, so below. This is not having anything above, but it is rooted into the ego, the ground, okay? 3D world. You're up-leveling from this small house, and I don't know if you recall in the Gilded Reverie, it's a Kipper that's got the Victorian home. That's a great big house. It's ornate, you know, it's beautiful. It's kind of dark, but you know, Victorian days, right? That would be upscaling to a bigger house where it's more in touch with who you really are, and the home represents your inner environment, like what you see as being your home. If it could be your family, like your spouse, loved one, whatever, and your family. Also the way you feel within your own home. And when I think about my own home, I think of it as a refuge from the world. It's someplace I can go in, shut the door, and feel completely safe and not bothered by anybody. I can not answer the door. I can shut my phone off, you know, and so forth and so on. I can just hang out and be naked if I wanted to, you know, that kind of thing, and watch TV or do jumping jacks. It doesn't matter. It's like I'm in the privacy of my own home, and I really love that kind of environment for me. So you are here, you're breaking things down so that it's no longer just mortar and pestle. See how this bowl with the pestle here? It's breaking these leaves down. It's going to grind them down into something. It's going to look totally different. And you'll be releasing some oils as well while you're doing that. So it's going to become even more fragrant and delectable, you know, flavorable. So that's what you're doing, is that you're breaking this down here. You're not just following the status quo, the laws of the land and what's expected of you as the person that you are, and living small instead of larger, like in the divine sense, not living large in the ego sense. and you're breaking it all down. So step by step, you're making progress towards your goal, which is to come back around after cleaning all this up, tying up loose ends, and breaking all that down, to come and finally, you know, if you could, turn it in reverse and reach out and talk to her. Now, communicate with her. No longer holding back because of ego. You're breaking that down so that this is no longer an issue. It's a non-issue. Okay? So guys, that's what I know about these particular card energies, and I hope that it was helpful for you. Take care of yourself. Bye for now.